Hi, I'm Juliana Smith. Welcome to another 5-Minute Find where we teach you something new in 5 minutes or less. Today we're going to talk about searching on Ancestry. In particular, a little link that you see under some of the search boxes in the advanced search that says Use Default Settings. That little link packs a powerful punch when it comes to refining our search results. First of all, if you're not using advanced search, you should give it a try. Even if you don't feel like an advanced researcher, this search is the way to go. It's going to give you more search options and more control over the results that you're seeing. So if you're seeing Hide Advanced up here in the upper right corner, that means you're already using the advanced search form, so you're good to go. If it says Show Advanced there, you need to just click on that link to get to the advanced search form. This is the link I was talking about. When it says Use Default Settings, you're performing a fuzzy search that's going to be kind of broad. It's going to try and capture all of those records that don't appear as we'd expect them to find. The search is taking all the information we enter, and when our search terms match what's indexed in the record, it's going to count that, and it's going to nudge that record a little bit higher in the list of records that are returned. When something we enter doesn't match, it might nudge that record a little lower in results, or it may not even show it as a match at all. The name of the game is getting as much to match as closely as possible, and these settings here will allow us to be a little bit specific, but at the same time give us a little bit of wiggle room. When we open that link, we can specify that we only want exact matches for whatever we enter in that field, but sometimes that can be a little too narrow, and it can rule out some close matches that are relevant for us. We want to broaden it a bit to bring back some similar names, abbreviations, initials. For example, if we do exact plus phonetic, this search for Betty returned hits for Batty, Betty with a Y at the end, Betty with IE at the end, or even Batia. In this search, exact plus similar meanings or spellings returns James, Jamie, and JAS, which is the commonly used abbreviation for James. Exact plus initials, as expected, is going to return James and J. The use default settings for surnames works very similar to what you'd find in the first and middle name. But you want to think about the name that you're searching for. Is it pronounced the way that it's spelled phonetically? If you look at it and think, Pat and Vanna, I kind of like to buy a vowel, it's probably not going to be a good name for using soundex or phonetic matches. So in those cases, what I would usually do is try to do an exact search and look for names with similar meanings or spellings, maybe even use wildcards. Here's what you want to know about wildcards. An asterisk is going to match 0 or more characters. For example, Anne with the asterisk at the end matches Anne with nothing after it, Anne with an E, Anna, Annabelle even. A question mark is going to match one character, but the thing is there has to be a character there. So in this case, if we do Anne with the question mark at the end, it's going to match Anne with an E or Anna, but not Annabelle or Anne without anything. The first letter of the name can be a wild card, but the rules are either the first or last character has to be a non-wildcard character, and the names have to include at least 3 non-wildcard characters. Under the location fields, you have some similar features that you can unlock. The trick to this is you always want to choose from this drop-down list of choices for the place that you're looking for. And this is a good idea even if you don't unlock that use default settings, because if you don't select from that list, it's going to treat the name you type in there, the place name, as a keyword search. And that search isn't going to be as efficient. For example, here's one where I can open up those proximity searches and restrict it to a county and adjacent county. This is my great-grandfather. And although he lived in Brooklyn, there were times where he lived in New York City as well. So this way I could specify county and adjacent county and pick him up in either of those locations. If your ancestor lived near a state line, you may want to choose to search that state and adjacent states as well. So these are some helpful ways that the little Use Default Settings link can help you with your search. Thanks and happy searching.